I'm the mother of 3 sons and a daughter. My 3rd son, who is Erick, Jamal, Hendricks. I raised these boys in the 90s in Little Rock. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, a little town outside of it. And it was a lot of gangbanging and stuff going on at that time. And I was determined that my sons was not going to be lost to the system and dead in the street and them celebrating his death, with parades and stuff like that. I started having trouble with him when he was in the 6th grade. And I sent him to all kind of I went to the judge, juvenile, and C-step. And he did well at C-step, and he got his GED and got out. He broke his neck and still was trouble. But he went to the county jail for 100 days because he wasn't paying his fine. And I refused to pay it because it wasn't me. I'm not paying the fine. I don't care if it's $25 a month or not. So the judge decided that, he said, well, since you hadn't done anything, I'm not going to send you to jail. And I wouldn't go to, when my sons got in trouble, I wouldn't go to the jail. I said, I'm not going to the jail to see you. You didn't ask me if I was going to come see you. So you go to jail, you go on down there on your own. But I would go to court. And so, just to see what was going on. And when I went to court with him that day, and the judge told him he was going to give him 120 days, and I noticed he had a cap on his head. I didn't know he had converted. And he laid his head down on the table and he prayed. I said, who is this person? So they let him out in 100 days. He walked from the jail, and I had a little business, and I looked up and saw him. It was like the prodigal son. I grabbed him and hugged him, and just thank God that he was out. And then I found out he had converted, and I said, I didn't care what he doing, what kind of religion he got, long as he is safe. I laughed now. He came out with the beanie hat and I say the dress, walk around our little town in Woodson, 420 people. But he truly changed his life around and married a girl from Pakistan, and they got married, has a daughter. She's 16 now. And when this, I used to say before, when all this was going on, I go to Capitol for my kids. And I'd be dogged if the devil didn't hear me and I had to do it. Okay, I went last year. But it was so devastating to me that morning when they came to my oldest son called me. He said, Mama, he said, they got Erick in jail talking about he's a terrorist. I said, what? About that time, I got a knock on the door from the FBI. They hit all of us at one time, the family. But they got to my house late because it was in the country and they got lost. They wanted to come in and said, no, we just sit outside here. I was glad they had warned me, but I usually don't let anybody in the house, I don't know anyway. But so they told me that Erick was asked me about jihad. I said, what is that? And he had built a little house, was building a house. Let's go back. He was a paid informant. When he started this, which I didn't know about in 2009, 2010, some boys from the mosque that he was in went to and joined ISIS. So they started, asking Erick where they came to him as a friend, 3 times, he said. And saying, well, we know you want to be patriotic and all that and this, but so he decided he'd go ahead and try to help, and in several cases he did. And but long story short is with the impact that it's having on me is that when it happened 2 years ago, I was 62 years old. I'm a nurse. I work with children with disabilities, and I work with a lot of families. And when this happened, I almost couldn't, I couldn't concentrate on what I needed to do for the families that I was working with, the children. I did tell the families something. They were sympathetic. And I kept doing what it really kept me going, working with them. But I also needed to do something for my child. I immediately went to North Carolina. That's where he was arrested. Talked with him, and I started giving interviews right there. I didn't care. I said, hey, I'm about to tell it. And I was told by some people, well, maybe you shouldn't say. I said, no, that's not me. I have to let you know what's going on. But I had to do that and maintain my life, and it's so hard. Right now, everybody seems to want to, come to me. Even my family, everybody think I'm a strong person, but I wake up when it first happened, I couldn't even sleep. I would, and I tried not to cry too much, and all I could do was think about him, because when I found out about it, it took him all over the place and took him to different pens, and he called. He said, Mama, he said, I'm scared, and that just hurt my heart so bad. He's a 6'5" fella, right? But he looks menacing, male saw him, but he's not. He's like a gentle giant, and he wants to take care of everybody. He's kind of naive too. Make friends. I used to tell him all the time, those folks don't mean you any good, son. You got to be yourself. Don't follow what everybody tell you to do. So now he wrote a letter, and I think it's he's what it is he's angry because his friends in South Carolina that was talking about how they just love him and, oh, you my brother, turning their backs on him. And he wrote a letter saying the only ones that really supported him was male in the organization and, different. It wasn't his brothers and sisters, And so he's finally learning that you got to be your own man. And I tell him every day, I say, like I said, just hold on, keep your head up straight, and if you fall for anything, what is that saying? If you fall for anything, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. That's I always get confused. And I say, you keep your head up straight like your granddaddy. My granddaddy, he was a proud black man. And he might be grinning at you, but when it came to his kids, it was all hell broke loose when it comes to his children and grandkids. And so and I tell him that all the time. And he's making the best as he can. He's being a mentor for the young folks at that prison. They have federal and they have state at this. It's one of these paid things. And they don't feed him. He can't eat some of that stuff. So he's trying to maintain his religion. And he holds prayer. And when something happens, they call for Erick to help calm him, And so I say, well, what you do is, this is something that's happened to you, and it's been terrible things happen to people all the time. You'll never get through life without something terrible happening. But you have to ask the Lord, what is it that you want me to do? And I told him, I said, maybe you ought to become a lawyer and come back and help be an advocate for these people. And he said, Mama, I said, no, really think about it, really, because he has a gift of talk, and, like his mama. And he speaks well, and but I am so proud of him, even though I'm just scared to death. When I've been to North Carolina once, Ohio twice, drove there. The last time we drove to Ohio in March, that's when they started his trial. We couldn't stay the whole week, but we were there for they were selecting the jury. It was 57 people there. They selected 11 white women and 1 black person. We had to leave. We saw him and we talked to him. But I had my oldest son, my second son, and my daughter. I had to drive because me and my daughter drove because my sons had problems with their license. You know how the kids are. And I'm thinking, going up and down these hills, this is my most important cargo that I have in this car. And I don't care how tired I am, I don't care what's going on, I'm going to take care of my kids, I'm going to drive. And we had no trouble, thank the Lord. And we told him, goodbye. And that's the hardest thing. And we can't touch him, we just have to put your hand up to the glass and pray for him. We prayed. But that's one of the hardest things I ever did, was to leave my son in the pen, because I used to talk about my son. All of them are grown and free and not in the pen. And this happened to my third son, and so it's so very devastating. And I'm not saying my friends turn their back on me, but it's like you kind of shun you. Well, you might not to talk. I said, no, I can't do that. We started a website and all kind of stuff. We put stories in there. But I've never been harassed by FBI. I've been looking, I look to see if they on around the corner somewhere, but they haven't bothered me. They did do a tap our phones. I had changed my phone service because we couldn't get a call through, without dropping people. So I go, well, what's wrong with your phone? I said, oh yeah. And I wouldn't care if they heard me or not. I'm not going certain things I would be discreet with, but I kept right on going about my life because I couldn't let them control me. So I just keep praying that I don't know what's going to happen now. Like I said, he had been sentenced, Judge Adams. And one thing that I would like to tell everybody, when it came to this, you have to get these letters. They tell you to get the letters and stuff. I asked his lawyer. He fired his first lawyer, and he told me himself that he they set Erick up. And he got a federal public defender. And he said that, I asked him, I said, okay, we can start taking videos. So they said it was okay. They had started doing that. And so we send the videos, upload them to where you copy a link, and anybody that has a link can see that. So we send them to the lawyer, and the judge should be able to see it, So the family, some family wouldn't even do it, close. But we said, okay, well, you know who your friends are and who's not, okay? So when you do get out of here, you'll know how to deal with them from now on. But anyway, this I could say go on and on. I don't want to go on too much, but it's very devastating to me to have a child in the pen and he would not say he was guilty. They asked him. Oh, they tried to get me to say it. They came to my house. They came to Woodson and looking around trying to see if he had a camp, And hey, like I say, it's 420 people. Most of them are black down there. If it was a camp down there, everybody would know it, okay?